All right, welcome back to the What's Next HelloNation series, where technically it's what's right now. We have a whole new team. We have our website. So let's start with a little bit of an introduction. I'm looking over at Michelle. Michelle, give me a little intro. How are you? And what's good? Give me some good news too.
All right, yeah. I'm Michelle. I am the managing website coordinator. Been at CGI for over 9 years at this point. What's good? Jeez, I don't know. We're doing a lot of things on the website, and
What about the kickball team? I mean,
oh, you want to get okay? Yeah, we can go
it's
for it.
good news. It could be anything. I don't know.
The kickball team. We're kind of combining a lot of people from different departments. They show up every week. Our record was great last year. We're getting back into the swing of things this year. But I'm just having fun. All that matters.
Good. Love that. And Juan, hello.
Hello.
Let's get an introduction. What's good? What's new?
Yeah, so I'm Juan Ayala. I'm the managing web designer here at CGI HelloNation. And I've been here for a little over 5 years now. So I'm becoming a bit of a veteran. And some good news would be that I recently redid my mailbox post at home. That sounds small, but is a big thing because we've inherited this house with some flaws, and having a new mailbox post, it was leaning a little bit too much to one side. So it was nerve-wracking because I never worked with concrete before, but it worked out at the end.
How you like doing that? I actually see you every once in a while. We run into each other at Lowe's, Masterton, great little store. Yeah, good. Feel accomplished.
I feel super accomplished. Yeah. I mean, I love doing things around the house, especially first time things I've never done before. I have to do probably like the longest research that I can to do something that may take 10 minutes.
Okay.
But I want to make sure it's right.
Yeah,
I don't have to do it again.
No, it's good. Mixing concrete's fun. You don't want it too soupy. It's still, yeah.
I agree with Juan. You should do your investigating before you start a project because that's just the best way to do it. That way it gets done right.
I mean, you have to. And joining us from, it's not Indy, right outside of it. Sarah, hello, welcome.
Hi, I'm actually located in Bloomington, Indiana, which is about an hour south of Indianapolis. I am the managing web support specialist here, and I've been here for almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years in September. And some good news, I just moved to a new apartment a couple weeks ago, moved in with my partner and my cat, so starting to build a little home and a little family, and it's been really exciting.
That you said, is it cats or cat?
Just one cat for now. He's actually joining us.
Love it. And what's his
He
name?
is Jasper.
Hello, Jasper. Oh yeah, we see the cat on all the time. I love that.
Yes.
So as you heard from the intro, this is the web team. And now again, a lot of it of what we're doing is websites are changing, right? Everything about websites are changing. The stat that I heard, a wild one, is website clicks are down 83%. That doesn't mean you don't need a website. You absolutely need a website. With that whole idea still necessary, what are we doing, or what are you doing now living in the AI world? What are we doing with websites differently?
Well, I think we should establish the fact that Juan's working on different types of websites, and I'm working on. So he has the expert websites. I'm working on the business websites. On the business website side of things, we're working in AEO and EAT optimization into the content, and that's just literally just front end stuff of the website, and that is supposed to help with what Google wants to see, right? You go to search for something on Google, your AI overview is the first thing that you're going to see. So working that information into the website will help make it show up when somebody's searching. And if you don't have a website that's set up like that, it's not going to be as good. And then in addition to all that, you still have the SEO that's worked in naturally into the content.
So for those, we've talked about EAT before, but it's experience, expertise, authority, and trust. So those are the things that we're incorporating. How are we doing it differently?
The content of the website is establishing that. So there's a portion of the content on each page that's talking about that. And that again is supposed to be picked up by Google. So it's talking about that trust, that expertise. It's using specific keywords with that section just so it pulls on that. And that's just basic layman's terms of that function.
I love that. I mean, we need that. So the other thing you talked about though, right? And which is again are expert sites. Juan, you're crushing those. How many of those have you done this year alone?
Well, there's too many to count in a year. Well, I have numbers, but let's say they're about 20 to 30 weekly. So how many weeks in the year so far? You can do the math.
We're at 28, 27?
Yeah. Yeah. And the good thing about that is there's still, plenty more to develop. So it's proven effective. It's proven that our clients are super interested. They believe in, our expertise enough to trust us to move forward with a product like this for them. It keeps rolling in. I think, a combination of just us, being the experts and presenting this as a just one product to keep them with that authority as part of the model, position them as the experts, being trusted. It's sort of catches on itself, and either through organically or through us reaching out to people to keep positioning them as the experts that they are.
Yeah, it is wild to see how effective they are in the big scheme of it. Because again, it's how it all works with Google. They are the authority. So Sarah, how have you helped to adapt even the role that you're doing? You've again in 5 years, you've probably seen the change. Heck, it's happening wildly rapid now. Or
Well, for sure, it's been looking back, it is almost a completely different process in with websites as a whole. There are some things that we do the same way, but a lot of it is different. I think that the most that I've learned about since starting that's applicable to the way that the web environment is now is looking more into SEO and AEO, and there's also GEO. And yes, there's a lot of crazy acronyms, but they all sort of mean the same thing once you boil them down to their bare bones. And that is just making yourself visible on the web, whether that's through Google search results, any other search engine results, or now through LLMs and AI powered searches such as ChatGPT. So I think that currently something that we're doing now to help improve that is, like Michelle mentioned, factoring that into the website content from the very beginning and implementing those keywords that we know is going to make the search engines happy and feature those results. And in addition, I've been learning a lot about implementing schema and other modules and pieces of content that we know is a proven method to get those results to show up where we want them to.
So you actually threw a lot of acronyms in there. We try to mention them each time. SEO, search engine optimization. I think every business owner would know SEO. You'd hope, right? The thing that we talked about last, what's next with Kate and James is the importance. You still, right? AEO, answer engine optimization, right? You still need a strong SEO to have a stronger AEO. So one of the things, Sarah, that we do, or that when we do, not just for the expert sites, but the advice so that they're picked up by the news wires and whatnot, is we do the schema and we ask, I mean, the way to do it for a business too is what are they searching for fence builders in Bloomington, Indiana? So is that also part of what we're doing on the back end is putting those searches in?
Sort of. It's a little bit more complicated than that.
Well, that's why
But
we have you
that's
here. I don't know these things.
right.
I hear little things and I assume, but
Right.
we're here with
So
experts.
what you are sort of leaning towards, Tim, is the use of keywords. And those can be implemented into schema, but long story short, schema is more in line with what is showing up um, and what we're telling Google or any other search engine what the website is about. Schema is on the back end. It's a piece of code, and that is what the browser pulls or the LLM pulls whenever it crawls a website. So there's many different types of schema. The most important one, in my opinion, and I've talked to our SEO specialist about this, is local business schema. And that basically tells Google like who you are, who your business is, and what you do, where you're located, and your business hours. And that is what causes all of that information to pop up in a Google search result. Google pulls that info, and whenever you look up a business and it has that little blurb on the side with all of your business information on it, that's actually
Google
pulling
My
from the
Business.
schema code. Yes, that's pulling from the schema code on the back end. So there's other different types of schema. There is blog schema that is specific for each blog post you have on your website. You can give a little snippet of what the blog post is about, and that can help populate data in search results. There's FAQ schema. So if you have a frequently asked questions module on your website, there's also a bit for that. So we can populate those questions and answers directly into search results, directly into um, LLM queries. It's a huge world. It's not super new,
My
but I
goodness.
think that it's really factoring into businesses and websites showing up in search results right now.
So I think of this, right? And I keep going back to it as a team here. I just got a wealth of information in that. Michelle, when you are working with a business, how many of them even understand that aspect of it? They're not getting one, right? They're getting a team of experts here. So how many of the businesses, when you're working with them, go like, have even any idea about that? You got to like the ones that probably do, but
Yeah, it's few and far from in between, right? They're business owners. They're not experts on websites. You have some who have done their research. They maybe set up a website themselves years ago, or maybe just recently, but it didn't work out, right? They're trying to figure out how to do it, and so a lot of them trust us, and we do it for them. So they're pretty happy.
Do want to touch on what you were just talking about with, the client interaction on, trying to explain something that's technical, but not really get out there and say it's technical. Michelle's point, these business owners are experts in what they do. It's almost, it's not really relevant that they become experts in what we do. That's our job. Just like it's their job to be service providers. We have our service, that we provide. And it's important not to be overly technical because we can kind of lose them. Sure. And we almost walk them through in a non-technical way to collect information and kind of express the importance of it. When some clients may want their whole childhood story on a website, it's completely not relevant to them as an expert. So we kind of try to dial it back a little bit and explain to them like what's more important is making sure that people who visit their websites know what they do, what they sell, potentially some things on like their history, with the area, some testimonials, of course, to have proof of concept for these services. We don't really get into the details unless there's a well-fitted client who understands things like schema. It's really not necessary. We kind of almost translate it in a way that they can understand it better so that it's less like hesitancy on putting pictures of grandchildren on a on a contractor website who does homes. And just kind of help them steer them in the right direction that it will be more impactful for their business.
Guidance is the big part of what my job is basically, and the web coordinating team. So basically what Juan said, there are going to be some clients that do really want, something like that on their website, maybe their grandkids. And so we're not here to shut everything down, but we will say, I don't think it fits here, but we can put it here. And I think that's a good spot. We can make a little highlight. So guiding them to what's going to be best without getting too much in the weeds of all the technical things is the key part of my role. By having those conversations, it leads to more trust with them too, because they're like, okay, yeah, you know what you're talking about. This sounds right. And they're usually pretty happy. So
I always love this is the one that I like to do, especially because client facing. Sarah, you're client facing, although more the technical side, right? Juan, still dealing with them. What is your favorite client story?
I think there's a theme in stories that are my favorite. And it's usually when uh, clients feel overwhelmed. And I almost thrive better in those kind of like situations because it's like it's almost like therapy. Clients need to tell someone what they're feeling, what they're going through, maybe frustrations from previous contractors, like website contractors, marketing contractors they've, been through. And I love hearing stories like that, not because of their suffering, but more like in the confidence that we have to kind of get them back on the right track, give them like faith in the whole, like investing on a website, investing on a digital product that they believe may not have been worth it because of their experience with someone else. It's like going to a bad dentist, right? You never want to go to a dentist again if all you do is feel just pain. So it's like common thread stories like that where clients will let it all vent, and we keep an open communication like that. We let them vent. It's part of our relationship building, and when we hear them out, we process it and give it back to them in a way that they give us that confidence. And usually at the end, at the end of stories like this, where it's the most troubled from their experience, it'd be one of the most successful on our end. If it takes that much ease off of a person who already is running a business, have employees, a long list of clients, and we can ease that from them, then those are like my favorite like adventures with the business.
I love that. That's good news. Those are my favorite too. I like a client who's freaked out because again, I got to get them on camera, and they're like, "I'm not good on camera." And I'm like, relax. No, I love those stories. That's a great one.
Piggybacking off of Juan there, I find it the most rewarding when a client calls and is super freaked out, thinking that their website is completely broken or their emails are completely broken and they aren't sure how to fix it, and they think that it's like a really complicated issue. But as they explain the problem, like in the back of my head, I'm like, I know exactly how to fix this, and it's just going to take me like 5 minutes. That just gives me a huge sense of relief, but also just like pride in myself to know that, oh, I can fix this problem. It's going to be a really simple solution, and it's going to absolutely make my client's day. Like a situation can be solved with like a flip of a switch, which doesn't happen every time. But sometimes as the issue is being explained to me, I'm like, I know exactly what's wrong. I know exactly how to fix it. Just give me 5 to 10 minutes and you'll be good to go. It's just so rewarding for both myself and the client.
Love that. Now, there's a special feeling of accomplishment for them, right? And it's like for yourself, but knowing that you made the difference for them, and
Right,
yeah,
and
I love
just
that
being able
too.
to ease their worries really quickly is great.
Totally. I loved it when Bob originally said, "Your website is your second location." Right? Your website is open 24 hours, 365 days a year. And no, great stuff right here. Confidence boosters.
yeah, I also had a recent couple of interactions with some new clients, and one was basically they've been working with a website company, marketing company, for a while, and it's been probably, I don't know, at least 8 months, and they're still working on their current proof website. They have a current
How
website
long?
live 8 months. If the client, has delays and life just happens on their end, sometimes it takes a while
Boy,
and
that
things
seems
have to.
long.
Yeah, it's a long time. And the timelines are not always like this, but
I
within a
know.
couple of weeks, we've already got a new website for them, and we're going through the proofing phase of things, and they just they made a joke on our last meeting kind of saying, "Wow, it's been really slow." with the process. And then that was just our client's humor. And I'm like, hang on, wait, is it too slow? Like, and no, they were all really happy about where the site is at already within just a couple of weeks. And, we're going to fine tune things from here. And I expect them to be really happy with everything. So
with that, again, one of the things that we're doing is the embrace of AI, even from our end. Is that a reason that we're able to? I don't want to say the comment because I think each website is different. You said could be delays on their end if they take too long to get the info, but like, what is our difference maker?
I think it's a mix of a few different things. Yes, AI is helping with things, but AI isn't building the site. We still have people building the sites. We're also coming into that first meeting with information prepared. We're essentially confirming information. We're still learning a little bit about them, making sure we're on the right page. We're referencing a lot of the times off of the current site if they have one, and then trying to paint a picture of what they want for the new one.
That was going to be my question. You probably reference an old website, but if they don't have anything, I mean, nowadays, how do you not? But
Oh
it's
my
gotta be
gosh.
tough.
Listen, the amount of times I have a client tell me I haven't looked at this thing in years is crazy.
That's a second storefront, people.
And it's fine, they're focusing on their everyday tasks, business owners running their business, paying their employees, all that stuff, right? So website, social media, different things go by the wayside. And that's okay. It is important though that we tell them these are things that you should pay attention to and things that we can help you continue to update. You should be updating your website and refreshing some content here and there. That's good for SEO. That's good for Google.
Actually, AEO if you go that route, which you should be
Correct.
because you want to be the answer.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah, one of those, I feel like when clients come up to us with a sort of neglect on their website, I just think that they had a previous bad experience and they didn't have, a company like us to help them get more involved in the process, make sure they understand like how important it is for them as business owners to be a part of it, because it's a direct reflection of them. More often than not, it's the front line. Then people actually get to see them, before making a decision to move forward with them. They probably just didn't understand the process with their previous provider. But as Michelle said before, we do guide them through that process. They get I believe that they get a better understanding of like what websites really are, what they're supposed to do. So it gets them more involved, and you have to constantly be updating it, because if you're not staying relevant, then you're going to be kind of left behind to your competitors. You want them to be looking at their websites more regularly through like including them in the process more upfront.
And to be clear, the clients do not have to make these updates themselves. We have a whole live site edit team that Sarah helps manage. And that's a great thing that we also offer, right? I get clients that come to us that say, my site hasn't been updated because I've sent requests in, but they haven't done anything. The current company hasn't done anything. It's been months, or it takes a really long time for something to get done. And that's what our live site edit team is there for, right? And depending on what services you're getting with us, you're also getting other dedicated team members like, Kate
we keep
and James.
saying team. We keep saying team.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like Kate and James and everyone, the account executives and client managers, they're also there if you're getting those services, right? To help communicate with our live site edit team for anything that they need. So the more you get with this company, the more people you get involved on all ends of the products that you need to keep your business relevant.
I think that the key word there is relevant nowadays with it.
Very much.
Sarah, I know we've said a lot. We don't want to leave you quiet over there in Bloomington.
I
Did we
was
miss
gonna jump
anything?
in, actually. I just was waiting patiently for everybody to finish their thought.
Yeah.
I also wanted to mention that for clients who feel comfortable making updates themselves and have web experience, we do offer that as well. We do provide logins to the site and also personalized training by members of my team, so that if they don't want to wait on us and have a simple change, they can just log in and make simple changes themselves. So allowing the client to have that agency and that power and the knowledge of being able to make updates themselves, I feel like is like I mentioned, really empowering for them for knowing that they have a backup option if they don't want to wait like a short amount of time, but it is an amount of time for my team to handle their request.
I didn't even know that we do training. That's something even now that I just learned, that we actually do the training with the.
We definitely don't leave the project once it's done. Absolutely not. You know, we have people still in-house who are accountable for making sure that the clients have what they need, be it like if they're more hands-on, that, you know, kicking into that training segment. We do have our web support team that reaches out to clients, set up meetings and do trainings, and do follow-up trainings if they need to, you know, because maybe it's too much to understand the first time around. If it's over technical, then they can come right back to us and we'll handle it. We do that for just website edits and updates, and also for our e-commerce clients who want to manage their store, how to manage their inventory.
You know, I love that we continue to support them. It's not just a hello, goodbye.
Yeah, their point of contact may change, but there's always somebody here. I think that's what we just offer, that some companies, again, like I mentioned, have a tough time
and
offering.
a person picking up.
Yeah, we have real people behind these computer screens. You know, it's and I see them in real life.
So as we kind of wrap up here, what piece of advice from your expertise of web design, of working with the clients for coordination, for the onsite, what piece of advice would you leave?
Yes, I was actually thinking about this yesterday. My top advice for a client would be to make sure that you know where your domain name is hosted. This doesn't seem related to SEO or AEO at all, but it does, and I will explain why. So your domain name for your website is the .com or .net, like your website URL. Just to remember where it is, remember your logins, and remember to pay for it. Because if you have to start over with an entirely new website domain, you're basically starting over from scratch with your visibility on the web. Your SEO and AEO is very closely tied to that URL, to that domain name, and you're building your relevance. So if you forget to renew it or you misplace your logins, you might have to start completely over with your visibility on the web. So that's my one piece of advice.
That's a huge piece of advice. Michelle is smiling ear to ear on that one.
I was gonna say that.
You were?
I do have other stuff I can say, but yes, I was gonna.
Go,
but
Sarah.
That's more in line with what her end of things, anyways. So it makes sense. It is a big topic of conversation in my meetings. On my side, I'm setting up our web support team for success, and that's part of the conversation that we're supposed to have. I would say, in terms of websites, a big thing that clients usually need to supply to us are materials, so photos and certain graphics and things like that. If they're like kind of have some awards, some accolades they want to show off, just have some of that information prepared, or think about continuing to take photos on a job site, or take photos of your team and send it to us. We'll update it. But you really want to highlight the best of what you do, and we can do that and help you do that on the website.
As a videographer, the one thing that I tell everybody, like, take pictures. We get cell phones. They're the best ones. Hey, what camera should I get? You have the best one in your pocket because it's always there. Just your cell phone takes a great picture. What piece of advice do we got?
Piece of advice, I'd say don't overestimate design on websites. It's not necessarily about how flashy it is. It's really should be more focused on the people who are visiting the site. Not you, not your ego. If you don't have good user experience, then you might as well not have a website at all, because no one can get to your services. No one knows what you do. No one knows how to get in contact with you. It's good to have that as initial, like, first impression, but you got to have everything inside to make someone want to stay in there, want to keep in all the amenities, kind of like a hotel. You have to have all those amenities to keep people inside comfortable. They have to know how to reach you, know exactly what kind of services you provide. Beautiful design will always be beautiful design, but don't forget about the functionality of it. Keep user experience in mind, and don't make it about you. Make it about like them and showing them what you offer.
Incredible pieces of advice to wrap it up. First of all, thank you all for coming. Sarah, Juan, Michelle, thank you for taking the time with us. Time flew when you look at how much we did here. So love the information we got. Hope that it helps our teammates. And that's just part of the HelloNation What's Next series.
Thanks for watching HelloNation.